Hello friends, in the last video we have discussed about the etiopathogenesis and classification of seizures. In this video we are going to discuss about the characteristic features of different types of seizures. Now remember that whenever any person is suffering from any type of seizure, irrespective of the type of the seizure, there are certain preventions, there are certain things that the relatives or the person must have to know. Once he comes to know that he is suffering from some type of the seizure, or once the relatives are aware that this particular thing is called as seizure, some certain precautions must have to be taken. So before we discuss the characteristic presentations, we will spend some time on discussing these things. Say for example, any person is suffering from seizure, any type of seizure, he must prohibit himself from heights, from going to the heights. He must not go to height. He must not try swimming. He must not participate in some what we can say is dangerous activities. He must not participate in racing. He must not drive, because if suppose he is doing these activities, if he is engaged in these activities, if he is working some machineries, he may endanger his own life or the life of others who are accompanying to him. So once the patient realizes that he is on anti-epileptic medications, he must prohibit himself from these activities. Similarly, if suppose a child is having epileptic attack, if the child is getting epileptic attack, the parents or the person who is accompanying that child must remember that the child should not play alone. The child is far away from any water source, so that his life will be safe even if he gets the epileptic attack. There are in certain countries, the person who is having epilepsy, the person who is on anti-epileptic drugs, is not eligible to get driving license. Okay. Fortunately, in India, we don't have such restrictions. We just need to be a good driver. That's all. We need to pass that driving test, and we will get the license. But in the other countries, they also see for the medical history of the person to give them the driving license. Okay. So epilepsy not only affects the person as a whole, the person as individual, but also it affects the surroundings around him. It also affects it brings various limitations on that person. He is not accepted for certain jobs, he is denied with certain jobs, etc. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the characteristic features of epilepsy seizures. So we are going to start with partial seizures. We know in partial seizure the area is localized in the brain. Partial seizure on the basis of consciousness, it is classified into two types, simple partial and complex partial. In simple partial seizures, the consciousness is preserved, whereas in complex partial seizures, the consciousness is altered. The person do not becomes unconscious, simply the consciousness is altered. So we are going to discuss the characteristic features now. Let us first start with simple partial seizure. In simple partial seizure, the consciousness is preserved, that means the person remains conscious, but he will present with other manifestations of the seizure. So on the basis of those manifestations, simple partial seizures are classified into four types. Simple partial seizures with only motor symptoms, simple partial seizures with only sensory symptoms, simple partial seizures with autonomic symptoms, and simple partial seizures with psychic symptoms. Now what are the characteristic presentations of these types? So let us first start with simple partial seizure with only motor symptom. As the name itself suggests, the person will be having only motor symptoms. That means there will be jerking or twitching movements will occur in the body. The person will not give any sensory complaints, just the jerks will be seen. The consciousness is preserved, jerks are present. What is the difference? The jerks are limited to some muscle or a group of muscle. the jerks are not generalized. The jerks will be limited to certain muscle or a group of muscle, and from that muscle the jerks will start spreading to other muscles. In some situations the jerk may begin simply on the eyes. The eyeball will start getting twitching, jerking movements of the muscles of eyeball. Then it will spread down to the cheeks, lips, limbs, one side of body, both the limbs and entire body. So this is called as progressing jerks. These are the progressing jerks. They begin from one particular muscle and then they progress. So this is called as Jacksonian march. Jacksonian march. And this type of seizure, this type of epilepsy will be called as Jacksonian epilepsy. Progressive jerks, progressive twitching of the muscles. So this twitching can last from few minutes to few hours. Few minutes to few hours. And it will stop automatically, and once the jerking movement stops, the person feels very drowsy, feels tired, and in some cases the affected limb, the affected muscle undergoes paralysis also. Try to understand this. If the jerking movement is present in this arm, continuous jerking movement for few minutes, few hours, after the episode is over, the affected limb will become paralyzed. This won't be a permanent paralysis. The paralysis will be there just for a few hours, say for example 3 to 4 hours, and after 3-4 hours the muscles will regain the strength and will start functioning normally. So this type of paralysis is termed as Todd's paralysis. TODDS, Todd's paralysis. So simple partial seizure with only motor symptoms is characterized by Jacksonian seizures and then Todd's paralysis. Now what is the characteristic feature of simple partial seizure with only sensory symptom? As the name itself suggests, it is only sensory symptom. That means the person will complain of either tingling or numbness in the particular part, in the particular muscle, or electric shock like pains in particular muscle. Then these pain, electric shock like pains or tingling or numbness can progress gradually, but it won't be associated with any motor symptoms as we have seen previously. So in this type only sensory symptoms will be seen. So as the name itself suggests, in case of motor symptoms the focus will be present in the motor area, and in case of this sensory symptoms the focus of seizures will be present in the area of the seizure will be in the sensory cortex. So here motor cortex is affected, here the sensory cortex is affected. Now coming to the third type, simple partial seizure with autonomic symptoms. In case of autonomic symptoms, you can see different types of symptoms, like the patient can complain of nausea and vomiting, the patient can complain of epigastric discomfort, the patient can present with deviation of the eyes, or there will be presence of some visual hallucinations. Okay. Now on the basis of the symptoms, we can localize the area. Say for example, if the patient complains of epigastric discomfort, nausea, vomiting, etc., the focus for the epileptic seizures is in the temporal lobe. Say for example, if the patient presents with deviation of the eyeballs, the focus is present in the frontal lobe. And if the patient complains of visual hallucinations, the focus will be in the occipital lobe of the brain. Okay, so we can localize the focus on the basis of symptoms. And the last one is simple partial seizures associated with some psychic symptom. This is a very rare type, so we are not going to discuss this one. So here we have finished simple partial seizures. Now we will discuss the characteristic feature of second type of partial seizure, that is complex partial seizure. As in the description only, I have told you that in complex partial seizures, the consciousness is altered. Okay, the consciousness is impaired. So on the basis of impairment of consciousness, this type, complex partial seizure, is again classified into two types. Complex partial seizures with only impaired consciousness, and complex partial seizure with automatism. So this type is more important, complex partial seizure with automatism. So what happens, what are the characteristic features in this type of seizures, complex partial seizure with automatism? Here I am going to give you an example and then I will tell you what happens in this seizure. Say for example, a group of boys is playing cricket on ground and a fielder is there on the boundary line and the batsman hits a sixer. Okay, it's not actually a sixer, it's just a catch. The fielder who is present on the boundary line can simply catch it, can catch the ball and the batsman can get out, caught and bowled. Okay, so what happens? All the other players on the ground, batsman has hit the ball is going towards the boundary line, the fielder is just below the ball. This is the situation. All the other fielders who are on the ground are calling that fielder by his name. Catch it, they are loudly, they are telling it, catch it. He is in a position to catch the ball and suddenly he drops the catch. Suddenly he fails to catch the ball, he drops that catch. What he was doing when he dropped the catch, he was like scratching over here or scratching there, became unconscious, was looking over here and there, and the ball has fell on his head. He dropped the catch, and why he dropped the catch? What he was doing was just looking over here and there, or was doing some foolish activities like scratching somewhere, or he was smacking the lips. So this is called as complex partial seizure with automatism. This is induced by the stress. Okay, in this situation, all the fielders were shouting at him, catch it. He was in some tension, he was feeling anxious whether he will catch or whether he will drop, and suddenly the seizure started because of that triggering factor, and his consciousness got altered. He started watching here and there without focusing on the target and doing some foolish activities like picking on the clothes. So if you have came across with some person who is having this symptom, then this is not just ordinary symptom, this is the symptom of complex partial epilepsy. Okay, same thing can also occur with a goalkeeper. Okay, he misses to catch the ball and the goal occurs because he was just lost his consciousness. Okay. So what is important over here is in this complex partial seizure, it can progress to the generalized seizures if not treated adequately, if not diagnosed properly. So complex partial seizures can progress to generalized epilepsy. Sometimes the complex partial seizure, depending upon the focus, depending on the area where the seizures have generated, are associated with some other symptoms. Say for example, if the location of the seizure is in the temporal lobe, again in case of complex partial seizure, the person will complain of nausea, vomiting, epigastric discomfort. If the location is in the frontal lobe of the brain, then the patient will be presenting with abnormal posturing of the limbs. Okay, so these are the characteristic features of complex partial seizures. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss about the types of generalized seizures and its characteristic presentations. Today we finish over here. We will discuss in the next video. I have got some messages and I have got some phones to upload some videos about some psychiatric diseases like bipolar disorder and etc. I have got some messages to drop a video for epilepsy also. So that is why I have started with epilepsy. If you want me to upload some videos, if you have any suggestions, you can just write in the comments and I will make the video on that particular topic also. Thank you.